Hello vinyl freaks, it's the Danish record hunter here, and in this video I will continue my October theme, which is like dark and obscure music from Denmark. And then I only have a couple like albums which I consider like really fitting the time of the year that we're in. It's October and it's Halloween and all that. I talked about Scatterbrain in my two earlier videos. And this time, it's gonna be an even more obscure album that very few people knows about, and they're called Satyricon. No, it's not the Norwegian band, the black metal band. No, this is something else. And they released this album, Moonlit Night. So let's get into it. Man, this album, it's something else. Just when I found it in this shop that I was in, it's actually a record store in Copenhagen called Mint, and they have this basement full of very cheap records. The price is like between 10, 30 and 50 kroners, and on the amount that you buy you will get some rabat. So I found this record here. And just the name, because the first thing most people they are associating with this name is the Norwegian black metal band, but this is not. And there's just something obscure about this. I don't know. It's like a picture of a landscape, and then there's this drawing of a satyr, and the band here. There's just something about it, I don't know what to say, if it's a bit cheesy looking band or what, but there's some kind of like a Gothic vibe to this as well. So I thought, okay, what is this about? I needed to buy this to hear it, because you can't hear it anywhere. And I wouldn't say that I was blown away, but I was definitely intrigued. And the more I listened to this album, man, the more I'm actually in love with it. So where should I start? Like, this is kind of like, I don't know. It's so hard to describe this music because it takes from so many genres. It's kind of classic rock with some prog influences, and then packed in some kind of, I don't know, new wave. I don't know. It's a Discogs. It says new wave, and yeah, considering the time that this album was released, it could have been new wave. I just don't know. It's there's not a lot of keyboards or anything, but there's definitely a vibe of something Gothic. For an example, there's a vocalist here called Sissel From, and to my ears, she sounds like some kind of Kate Bush, but of course like a second-rate Kate Bush, because Kate Bush, she had her own thing, she was an original. So I'm pretty sure that Sissel From, she may have listened to Kate Bush, because that's what I get from her vocals. And actually she's quite wonderful on some tracks. On some others she can get on your nerve, I think. But yeah, Satyricon was an 80s band. This album is from 1983, of course. But actually, let me see here. There's a member, the bassist here, Henrik Wilhelmgade. His name on the record here is just H.W. Gade. He was the bassist and he wrote all the songs. But he also was a member of another band called Necropolis. And they released an album in 1976 called Suite til Sommeren. I have not heard that album myself. I know that you could find that record for like 10 kroners or less back in the 90s. because nobody really cared about it. But nowadays in Denmark, you will have to pay like 2,000, 3,000 kroner for it, depending on the condition. So it's very rare. And I've heard several people say, it's not really worth the money. And then you kind of get the feeling, maybe it's not that good. But then I also had some other people telling me, there's some really awesome fuzz guitar on it. So that record, it's like kind of psychedelic folk. I think there's some prog in there too. But I have not heard it myself. There's one track on YouTube which is uploaded from the album, and that one didn't really, spark any interest in me. I would like to hear the rest of the record. But that's one track that is on YouTube. It's not something that it's definitely not the best song on the album. I don't think so. And how can I know? But I don't think. I think there must be something more intriguing on it. But then Henrik Wilhelm Gade, in some kind of way, he formed Satyricon. And I'm not really sure about the other members in the band, what they did. I think Sissel From, the vocalist, she did some session work, like singing in a choir or something like that. She released a couple records, but as like a guest singer. But yeah, also what really was interesting when finding this record, it was the song titles. I was just like, what? Like the first track, it's called Schizophrenia, and then there's songs like Angst, Claustrophobia, Bugs, Full Moon. It's just a vibe to this. And before I get to what I think about the lyrics, because this is not the copy that I bought back then in Mint, I upgraded my copy for a record that sounds a lot better. The other one was a bit dirty, and also I wanted to have this right here. It's like a small, like a kind of booklet insert with the lyrics. But yeah, when I first listened to the record, there's some of the songs that it really gives me a vibe of romanticism. I don't know. It's like a track like Full Moon. That one. It's a love. I don't know, love or desire. It's like this song. Let me see the lyrics here. There's just something that gives me some vampiric vibe about this. Like full moon shining on your body, and full moon driving us crazy with hunger for love. I don't know, man. Actually, that song is my favorite on the album. There's just something about it, and also there is a very awesome bass solo by Henrik Wilhelm Gade. And Sissel From, she sings this one quite well. I actually think she does her best work on the ballads. But yeah, the lyrics. Some of the lyrics here, they're a bit cryptic. When you see the song titles like Schizophrenia, Angst, Claustrophobia, something like that, you really, expect something very intense and, eerie and something full of despair. It's not really, the band goes in some different directions, like doing ballads, then doing a rocker, like, I don't know, like the track, Actually, the lyrics, when I read them, it's like the lyrics are trying to be kind of thinking man's lyrics or intellectual, I don't know, but then they're not really perfect. They're not very refined, and actually it reminds me of Danish heavy metal bands from the time. And what I'm saying here, that it's not refined or anything, I don't care about that, I think when you listen to heavy metal back in the day in Denmark, the English lyrics, they were not, there were some weird expressions sometimes, and we had a way of wherever we could put an X in the word, that would sound more awesome, and I see the same thing here. There was one song lyric where I think I saw something like that. I can, yeah. It says here, forbid us the ecstasy with an X, ecstasy. But you know, they're kind of cheesy, but I'm still intrigued by the lyrics, you know. Even though it's a bit confusing, the songs, it doesn't really, you know, it give me the vibe of the lyrics always. But you know, it's cool. This album keeps me getting back to it all the time. Here the band is, and do some pictures from, I think, the time recording it, and actually the record was produced by another guy that I've talked about before, and it's Nis P. Jansen from Nis Piss Band. He produced the album, and damn, I really like this one, and definitely for me this is an October album. It's kind of gothic, but then again it is so much else, you know. And even if the lyrics are a bit cheesy, I like this because it's I've never heard a band exactly like this in Denmark, so I appreciate it. So now that you've heard me blabbering about the music, let's get to the samples.
I will break you, though you are cold as ice and furious. You can take me, your eyes are shining brightly with desire. You can twinkle freely, aimed at other girls, but be careful with my heart now, 'cause I maybe fall in love. Horror that enters into your heart. Rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll. 'Cause today you're I am a beast at your feet. Full moon shining on your body. Full moon gleaming in your eyes. Full moon driving us crazy with hunger, hunger, hunger for love.
So I hope that you liked what you heard, and if you want to watch more videos from me, please press subscribe and like my video, and I will make sure that a lot of other Danish rock albums will come your way in video form. So please take care and see you next time.